Analysis. Why Putin is backing Assad's blood-soaked Syrian regime. World News. MSN. Outlook. More autos. My MSN. Video. Careers and jobs. Personals. Weather. Dealish. Quotes. White pages. Games. Real estate. Wonderwall. Horoscopes. Shopping. Yellow pages. Local edition. Traffic. Feedback. Maps and directions. Travel. Full MSN index. Bing. NBEnews.com. Today. Nightly news. Meet the press. Dateline. MSNBC. Breaking news. Newsbeam. Home. U.S. World. Politics. Business. Sports. Entertainment. Health. Tech. Science. Travel. Local. Weather. Advertise vertical line ad choices. Recommended. Many Afghan civilians killed in attack targeting U.S. consulate. Recommended. Syria chemical weapons talks constructive. Kerry says. Recommended. For men sentenced to death in New Delhi gang rape case that shocked India. Recommended. Egypt extends state of emergency by 2 months amid persisting turmoil. Heater.top_heater background image. URL http://cdn.lib.newsbeam.com/chrome/world news franchise/images/header.jpg D equals 10,529. First for breaking news and analysis. Compelling world news stories from NBC News journalists. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. About this blog archives email updates follow on Twitter. Subscribe to RSS. 919 comments. Print. Updated. 23 hours ago. Analysis. Why Putin is backing Assad's blood-soaked Syrian regime. Mikhail Klementiev/RIA Novosti Kremlin via AP. Russian President Vladimir Putin likely has many motivations for his continued backing of Syria. Essentially, what Russia wants to tell the world is that no one, including the UN, is going to decide who is going to run which country. Moscow-based independent journalist Konstantin von Edgar said. By Keir Simmons, correspondent, NBC News. News analysis. Moscow, Russia has provided unwavering support to President Bashar Assad in spite of claims that his Syrian regime has used chemical weapons. Harrowing images of dead children and an estimated 100,000 killed by all sides in the civil war. So seen from across the Atlantic, Moscow can look stubborn, even ruthless. But President Vladimir Putin's proposal to put Syrian chemical weapons under international control, and now his letter to the American people through the New York Times, casts Russia's behavior in a different light, diplomatic and pragmatic. Advertise vertical line ad choices. Many will be skeptical. Putin likely has many motivations for the course he has set, including self-interest. And the Russian initiative may unravel when Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov meets Secretary of State John Kerry in Geneva on Thursday. But from Russia's point of view, Putin's approach to Syria can be seen as understandable and logical, analysts say. There is genuine concern within the Kremlin that an American strike could lead to an escalation or even a wider war. Russian President Vladimir Putin's op-ed in the New York Times blames the Syrian rebels, not the Assad regime, for chemical attacks as world leaders will meet in Geneva to discuss the potential Syrian chemical weapons disarmament. NBC's Andrea Mitchell reports. If anybody thinks that bombing and destroying the Syrian military infrastructure, and leaving the battlefield for the opponents of the regime to win, would end everything, that is an illusion, Lavrov said in August. There are Russia's fears about terrorism. A strike would increase violence and unleash a new wave of terrorism, Putin said in the Times op-ed. Hundreds of militants from Western countries and even Russia are an issue of our deep concern. Might they not return to our countries with experience acquired in New Syria? Putin has consistently compared his battles with separatist Muslim groups in the Russian Caucasus with the terrorism in the West. Russia is a victim of international terrorism too, Putin said after the April 15 Boston bombings that killed 3 and injured an estimated 264. The attack had added importance in Russia because the suspected perpetrators, Vakar Tsarnaev and his older brother Tamerlan Tsarnaev, who was killed in firefight after the attack, have roots in the troubled Russian Republic of Chechnya, an Islamic insurgency that followed vicious war